everyone, welcome back to my vlog. Today I'm going to be your economic detective, and for this video I'll be analyzing a very simple but very important Filipino product, which is toyo or soy sauce. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever eaten adobo or fried rice without toyo? Exactly! It feels incomplete, right? But you might think it's just a sauce. But behind this small bottle is a lot of economic activity, from production to pricing to consumer behavior. So let's break it down using the economic concept we learned in class. So first question, why do Filipinos buy toyo? Filipinos buy toyo because it adds flavor to the food and affordable and easy to find, and used in many Filipino dishes like adobo, pancit, and fried rice. And for many households, toyo is a basic kitchen necessity. Now, let's talk about utility. The utility of toyo is ordinal. This means consumers don't measure happiness in numbers. For example, people prefer food with toyo over food without toyo. They rank their satisfaction instead of calculating it. And so even if people can't say exactly how much happiness it gives, they know it improves their meals. And now let's move on to data and language. Recently, prices of basic food items, including soy sauce, have increased due to higher cost of soybeans, increase of fuel and transportation costs, and inflation. So here's the difference between positive and normative statement. In positive statement, the price of toyo has increased in the Philippine market. This statement is based on the facts and can be proven with data. A normative statement is the government should regulate soy sauce prices to protect consumers. This statement is based on opinion and values, and knowing the difference helps economic analyze issues clearly. And now let me explain the supply and demand graph for toyo. So on the vertical axis, we have the price of toyo. On the horizontal axis, we have the quantity of toyo. And this downward sloping line is the demand curve. It shows that when the price of toyo is high, consumers buy less. When the price is low, consumers buy more. So because toyo is used in many Filipino dishes, demand stays strong. And this upward sloping line is the supply curve. It shows when the price is high, producers are willing to sell more, and when the price is low, producers sell less. And producers want high prices because it helps cover costs like soybeans, labor, fuels, and packaging. So the point where the supply and demand curves meet is called equilibrium. So this is the price and the quantity where producers are willing to sell and consumers are willing to buy. And there is no shortage and no surplus. And when production costs increase, such as higher fuel or soybeans prices, this supply curve shifts to the left, and producers supply less at the same price. And since demand for toyo stays almost the same, the result is higher prices in the market. And this graph shows why the price of toyo increases when costs rise, even if consumers still want to buy it. And now let's talk about elasticity of demand. Is the demand for toyo elastic or inelastic? The demand for toyo is inelastic. Why? It is necessity, not a luxury, and there are few close substitutes, and it is relatively cheap and compared to other goods. And this means that even if the price increases, people will still buy it, and consumers may complain, but they won't stop purchasing toyo. So what market structure does toyo belong to? The soy sauce market in the Philippines is an oligopoly. This is because only a few large brands dominate the market, and these brands control large share of production and sales. And companies compete through branding and pricing. In an oligopoly, firms are aware of each other's action, especially when it comes to price changes. And now let's answer the challenge question. If the government suddenly imposes a 20% sin tax on toyo, the equilibrium price will increase, and producers will pass most of the tax to consumers. And because of demand is inelastic, consumers will continue buying toyo. As a result, total revenue will likely increase and consumers bear more of the tax burden. And this shows how elasticity affects tax outcomes. So, there you have it. Even a simple product like toyo can teach us a lot about consumer behavior, supply and demand, elasticity, and market structure. Thank you so much for watching my economic detective vlog, and I hope you learned something new today.